Good afternoon, Colin here with Techout. I am going to be doing a little 24 to 48 hour review on my S23 Ultra here. It is now Monday. I've had this phone since Friday when it came out, and we're going to talk about some of the issues that I've had with it because this phone has had its fair share of issues. I've had to set it up twice. I've had some battery issues. I've had some performance issues, some crashes, but I finally got it set back up. It looks like it's going to be running good now. Battery life is finally to be, what's expected, what everybody else is getting. So I'm going to go through some of the issues I've had with it. We're just going to start off from the beginning, and I'll let you know what's been going on and that kind of stuff. So I got it Friday. I set it up. All was well. Battery life was great. I was having issues getting Samsung Care Plus. They had a deal where you got 50% off a 1-year plan. Was trying to do that. Was getting a bunch of errors. Wasn't working. So I spent 80 minutes on the phone on hold for them to tell me that I had to go buy it online. So that's besides the point. This isn't a Care Plus review, but I was on the phone for 80 minutes with this thing unplugged, and between a mix of being on the phone and screen on times, usage like that for the hour and a half that I was, on the phone, I think I was down to like 94, 95% battery. So excellent talk time there. The mix of some screen on time, and I was still setting up the phone at that point too. It had just finished transferring my backup, so I was, signing into apps and all that kind of stuff. Now where the issues started is that night I plugged the phone into charge. I went to sleep. I woke up to check something, and when I went to unlock my phone, the fingerprint thing didn't work, so I did that, and I swiped it, and when I did it, it said I had to use my pattern after a restart, and I'm like, that's weird. And the phone doesn't seem like it restarted. So I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe it, app made it restart or an update or something like that. It was still, just finished setting up. So I ignored it. I checked what I had to check. I went back to sleep. I woke up about an hour and a half later, went to unlock it again. Same thing. I'm like, okay, there's no way it's just restarting like this normally, to where I'm having to enter my my pattern that much where I can't use fingerprint. So I went to Samsung members for something else, and I noticed that a message came up that my phone experienced a freeze or a crash. And the time that listed, on the error report was in line with the time that was, when my phone was in standby mode. It was just, asleep like this. So it's like, okay, that's weird. So I kind of ignored it, went on about using it for, throughout the day. It never had any issues when I was actually, screen on using it. It never froze, crash, no performance issues, no lags or anything like that. But once I put the phone back to sleep, I put the phone to sleep, just screen off, went to go have dinner. I left my phone upstairs. It wasn't charging this time. It was just sitting there. And I came back up about 2 hours later, same thing. It had crashed again to the point where I had to enter my pattern. Same message on Samsung members. So I'm like, okay, something's not right here. And whenever I would go into the battery and device care section here, it would, like when you tapped into here to go to see how much usage you've actually had, it was like frozen. It wasn't updating like it normally would, and like it has, previously. So not what I wanted to do. So the screen on time was very lagged behind. It wasn't like, I'd use my phone for 30 minutes and this was still on 0 minutes, and then I'd put it to sleep and wake it back up and it'd say 10 minutes, and it wasn't acting right. So that night I wiped the phone, like a full wipe, not even, I went into recovery mode, full wipe there, set it back up, and I didn't restore it from the backup this time because I didn't know if the backup was having some issues with something. But my S23 Ultra that the backup was from was also on One UI 5.1, so I don't know if it was something there, if it was some apps or something that were causing issues. But ever since I've restored it, I have not had any problems, no crashes. It's been a full night, full day yesterday and a full night last night, and it hasn't had any crashes or anything like that. So that was the first issue I had. And then back to battery life here. Battery life has been excellent. I unplugged this phone yesterday about 9 to 10 a.m. and it's now 12:41 p.m. the next day. 4 hours and 14 minutes of screen on time and 20 hours and 54 minutes of screen off time for a total of 1 day and 1 hour. And we're still at 37%. And that is a mix of Wi-Fi and 5G, full screen resolution, 120 hertz. And that is where my screen brightness has been set at right there. I don't use auto brightness. I hate auto brightness. I don't like the dim screen. So that's where my brightness has been there the whole time. That's what I set it at. So very good. Very good battery life. Way miles better than the S23 Ultra. If you have an S23 Ultra and you can sell it for $500 or $600, I think the light just died on us here. Or turned off. Okay, there we go. I don't know what just happened there. But yeah. if you, okay, the light is dead, so we're gonna have to do the rest of this video in a little bit of darkness here, but hopefully you can still see the screen. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you have the means to upgrade from an S22 Ultra to S23 Ultra, battery life alone is worth it, and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is worth it. This phone is so much smoother, so much more responsive, and apps just open and close way smoother. It's a night and day difference between the S22 Ultra and this one, honestly. And you can see here with this battery life, I've been on Reddit, I've been on Twitter, messages, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, Chrome, browsing the web, doing a little bit of everything here, and battery life is just hanging in there. It's great. If you're not a heavy user, if you're just checking your phone, text messages, obviously you don't want an S22 or S23 Ultra for, just a little bit of use. But if you're not somebody who's a heavy user, this is pretty much a 2-day phone for you. If not, maybe even 2.5 to 3, depending on what you're doing. But this is just before the phone's optimized. It's still learning the usage patterns, as you guys could see. And I was still installing apps and setting it up and playing with it and signing back into all my apps and that kind of stuff. And that's where the battery life's at. So it's only going to get a little bit better. But that is the S22 Ultra. I really like it. I like the larger, more squared off sides. It's definitely a lot easier to hold. I'm using the Spec Presidio grip case here, one of my favorite cases. I just did a video on those cases, so it'll be uploaded before this one. So if you want to check that out, it will be up. But loving this phone, great phone. I'm going to do a comparison between this and my OnePlus 11 here, coming up in another video here in the next couple days. And I might even throw in the iPhone 14 Pro Max in there. I don't know if I'm going to do a S23 Ultra versus iPhone 14 Pro Max and the OnePlus 11 in there and do it all in one, or if I'm going to compare each one separately. Let me know what you guys want me to do down in the comments down there. And all this stuff will be in the description. I'll put these cases in the description if you guys want to pick these up, or you can check out the video that is dedicated to them. Sorry about the lighting issues on the last half of the video there, but I am Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.